Hello, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your 6-month prediction. It is a general collective reading, so as the messages come through today, take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it is meant for someone else to hear. And please check your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. And if you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box of this video is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. So Taurus, before we get into tarot, I did a little astrology homework for you, my love, so you understand this reading better, but also how the next 5 months will play out for you. So this 6-month, lunar cycle here stretches from the new moon in Cancer on July 14th, 2026 to the super full moon in Cancer on December 23rd, 2026. So for you, Taurus, this will heavily activate your third house of communication, local community, learning, and daily routines. Because Cancer is a deeply intuitive, emotionally driven water sign, right? It is ruled by the moon. The moon rules our emotions. This period for you is going to enable you to focus on shifting your mental patterns, reevaluating how you voice your wants, your desires, your needs, your feelings, and also to help you restructure your closer everyday relationships. So it all begins with you like planting the seed of new communication or a new way to express yourself. The cycle begins with that powerful emotional reset for you on July 14th. It's especially powerful for you, Taurus, because we do have Mercury retrograde occurring in Cancer at this time. So for a lot of you, you are returning to something of the past, like an outdated goal that you had, something you put on the back burner. So it could be like reviving a writing project, a business idea, maybe taking a course or class that you once wanted to take. Maybe you started taking it, you didn't complete it, or you didn't take it at all. You'll be like revisiting that. And for others of you, it could be some type of creative skill, photography, playing an instrument, pottery, baking, painting, something like that. Again, maybe you cast it aside, you started with it, but just sort of life got in the way, you shelved it, or you never even launched it to begin with, right? There's something like that here where you'll be like returning back to that goal or returning to that skill. Another very important thing for you, Taurus, during this time period is you're going to be redefining security. Now, I always say you're the backbone of the zodiac. Okay, you know how to make a dollar, you know how to keep a dollar, maintain a dollar, attain a dollar. So in terms of financial security or financial wealth, I think you're pretty solid. However, while that is your strong suit, emotional security, not so much. So I think you're going to be prompted here to change how you communicate your needs, because over the course of the next 5 or 6 months, you're going to realize or come to the realization that personal and emotional safety and emotional security are just as important as financial security. And that means no longer tolerating jobs that pay you well, but make you feel bad about yourself or treat you poorly. No longer tolerating relationships where there's like a money exchange, so the financial connection is strong or solid, but the person makes you feel like shit. The partner that doesn't emotionally fulfill you, the friends that take advantage of you or give you those backhanded compliments. And I think in the past, I have a group of you here, the feeling I get is you always suppressed it in order to keep the peace. That's not going to that's not going to happen anymore after December 23rd, 2026. So you're going to be redefining security. And as a result, by the time you get to the end of the year, you're going to sort of be assessing the people that sit around that table of life for you. There's also a very powerful local shift that's happening for you, Taurus. So new opportunities are going to emerge regarding your neighborhood. For some of you, this involves local travel. Like traveling more to some areas that are maybe 15 or 30 minutes or an hour away from you that you've always wanted to go to, that you never went to. Suddenly you'll feel called to want to explore outside of your neighborhood. Others of you will be considering relocation, actually relocating or just making plans to relocate in 2027. And there's also something here about local networking, or enhancing these interactions that you have with siblings or extended family members to come up with ways or ideas to generate new financial revenue sources for you. So I can see Tauruses moving out of I'll just call it like corporate America, regardless of where you live in the world, but like working for like a larger conglomerate or a company, and maybe even just becoming self-employed. So I can see that happening as well. as you have these various communications or conversations with siblings and extended family members. So the 6-month growth period for you begins late August and moving into like October, November. That's when you're going to undergo this gradual mental transformation, if you will. And as a result, you're going to end the year with a softer mindset. You're going to find yourself moving away from rigid, logical thinking, right? Very black and white thinking. This person did ABC. I'm not going to say anything because logically I value the connection, so I have to suppress what they did. I'm not asking for clarity. I'm not even going to ask for an apology. I'm just going to pretend they didn't happen, and I'm just going to, go along to get along. That changes for you. And it's not that you're going to become some dictatorial person like, hey, you did ABC to me, but it's more of like, I can't just logically think about what this person did. I have to lean more into communicating those feelings about how they injured me or whatever they did or said, how it affected me. So I think in the past, you thought very logically, and it was like, I can't say anything about this because of this particular connection. I value it, and therefore I have to pretend that that person didn't just do or say that. Moving forward, I think you're going to be expressing, hey, you did this, and this is how it made me feel, or this is what I need to feel emotionally nourished from this connection with you. And I think a lot of people in your life are going to be quite shocked because it's like, oh my God, Taurus has feelings. Taurus has had feelings all along. They've just suppressed them for you to keep you happy or to keep you in their life. That's going to change moving forward. So you're going to find yourself with radical candor. I'm actually kind of excited to do your readings for 2027 because all of those pent up feelings for you are going to surface. And it's almost like you're going to review those conversations or those experiences within and go, oh my God, when they said this, I should have said ABC. When they said this, I should have followed up with this question. So as you review these disappointing, we'll call them, conversations or interactions in the past, and all of these feelings resurface, it's going to like clear the air for you. It's going to give you not only closure if those connections are no longer in your life, but it's also going to allow you that moving forward, I need to speak my absolute truth. When you hurt me, I need to say it. When you do this and I don't understand, I need clarity. Again, I'm no longer suppressing my feelings just to keep you in my life. And because of that, your base foundation, your close foundation of your friends and family members or lovers are going to change. You're going to wrap up the year with a much clearer understanding of who belongs in your inner circle and who doesn't, regardless of length of time or association or resources involved with that individual. Moving forward, you're actually going to put your mental health or your mental well-being ahead of whatever financial investments or financial investments that you have with that particular person. So let's see where we go with this message for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements for the new moon in Cancer until the super full moon in Cancer in December. What else does Taurus need to know? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Gathering around the power of community, card number 26. Fortune's Wheel, luck and right timing, card number 3, which is so interesting because December 23rd is actually the super full moon in Cancer. And then we have Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation, card number 15. And at the bottom of the deck, Taurus, we have Vanishing Mirror, ego sublimation, card number 58. Yeah, some people's egos, I feel, are actually going to be shattered. That was the first thing I thought of, because in the past, you never called people out when they did things, or you suppressed and suppressed until everything came out like, like a volcano. This is no longer waiting for that. This is just, it's really calling people out when they hurt you. And I also think there's something here about you, like, because you had this trait of suppression and, again, being a people pleaser, if you will, I think it kept you stuck in situations, environments, or connections. Like, I think you stayed in them long past their expiration date. Like when they got totally stagnant, right, with that Dust Devil card, I think you're going to move out of stagnation. I think you're going to move on from situations, environments, or connections, because as you start voicing those feelings and as you start requesting or maybe even demanding emotional nourishment, emotional reciprocation. There are going to be people that are not going to be able to handle that because they're not used to having to emotionally invest in you or take your feelings into account. So I do think you're moving on from some people this year. I do think some egos here will be bruised or damaged as a result. Let's clarify this further here for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. We're clarifying gathering around the power of community, card number 26. Fortune's Wheel, luck and right timing, card number 23. And Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation, card number 15. One more shuffle. Thank you. Taurus, we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Nine of Pentacles, and we have the Ten of Cups. The bottom of the row, we have the Moon, the Ace of Swords, and the Five of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Sun, the Hierophant, that's your major arcana card, and the Knight of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Pentacles, Six of Wands, and the Five of Pentacles. All right, let's clarify this for you, Taurus. We're using the After Tarot deck. If you're not familiar with this deck, the images are slightly different. It does alter or change the meaning of the cards, and we'll go through them as necessary in your reading today. Clarify this further, please, for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements for this 6-month lunation cycle. We are clarifying Ace of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, the Moon, Ace of Swords, and the Five of Swords for Taurus. One more shuffle. Thank you. Ace of Cups is clarified by the Magician. Nine of Pentacles clarified by the Moon. This lunar cycle is going to be huge for you. Ten of Cups clarified by the Ace of Cups. The Moon clarified by the Queen of Pentacles. That's also you, whether you're masculine or feminine. Ace of Swords clarified by Strength. And Five of Swords clarified by the Three of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, Queen of Swords, Five of Swords, and the Star card. Bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Before I even begin to clarify, I think you're going to find your voice in the second half of 2026, and I think there are going to be people that are very shocked to hear what you have to say. Because while the Strength card, Leo energy, talks about having the strength and courage and perseverance to move forward and to push through, and you're very good at doing that, burying your head in the sand, pushing through those obstacles, but it also takes strength and courage to speak up in that Ace of Swords. And I think you're going to do that. And I don't think some people are going to like it in that Five of Swords. It's almost like, since when do you have feelings? Or since when do you care? You've always cared. You just never said anything. Ace of Cups. Clarify the Ace of Cups. Clarify the Ace of Cups here for Taurus. One more shuffle. Thank you. Ace of Cups is clarified by Ace of Wands. Everything I said is the truth. Seven of Swords and the Knight of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Three of Pentacles. There's something here about you suppressing your own emotional needs in order to keep other people emotionally content. I had a friend a while back who was also a Taurus, and I remember he was having an issue with someone, and he was just like, Jay, I don't know what to do. You know, the friend did, you know, ABC to him, XYZ, and it made him feel terrible. And I said, well, you have to say something to your friend. And he was like, oh, I can't do that. It's going to cause a Five of Swords, right? It's going to cause an argument and drama. And then, like, what if he never, you know, they don't want to talk to me ever again, so I can't say anything. And I'm like, but if you don't say anything, they're just going to continue to take advantage of you. And it was like, well, you know, maybe I'm making a big deal out of nothing. And he's a Taurus. And I just feel like there's something here happening over the course of the next 5 to 6 months that you're going to realize just how much of your emotional needs were suppressed simply because you were not speaking up. And were those people Seven of Swording you, taking advantage of you? Absolutely. But there's also something here about you realizing how complicit you were in enabling or allowing them to do that, because you silenced your own expression as well. You didn't speak about how they were making you feel. So I think you're healing here a communication wound. Magician card. Magician is ruled by Mercury. Mercury rules communication. So I don't think you're going to just, you know, swallow crow to keep the peace moving forward. Clarify the Magician. One more shuffle. Thank you. Magician is clarified by King of Swords, Page of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Pentacles. Boy, are you going to be calling people out. They could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. They could be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or a Virgo. There's a person or people here in your life, Three of Pentacles, that you collaborate with, you interact with, you work with. They're part of your inner circle, right? We see these three people here. They're part of your inner circle. And this person or these people have been trampling on you emotionally, like not taking your emotional needs into consideration. Because again, Taurus is just going to push right through and push right through. And it's almost like Taurus doesn't have feelings. Taurus doesn't care if we haven't had sex in 7 years. You know, Taurus doesn't care if I give them a backhanded compliment in front of the rest of the office because I pay Taurus handsomely. All Taurus really cares about is money. That's been the perception. That's been the perception. But the truth is, you're ruled by Venus. You do have a heart, and it does hurt, and it does break, and it does shatter. And I just think that in the past, you didn't really call people out when they broke or shattered your heart. I think you internalized it, and you found ways to heal on your own, or just found ways to suppress and, you know, maybe not even look at that wound because it was too painful. But moving forward, you are without a doubt finding your voice. If you see my readings before, welcome back. If you're new, howdy, howdy. But for me, queens exist in the present. They're dealing with today. They're processing the past. They're taking care of the now. And kings take action. It's not masculine, feminine, or hierarchical. It's just how I see a suit of cards. And so I have a group of Taurians here who are learning based upon Queen of Swords, this, you know, current interactions, and also reviewing those past conversations and past and connections. The realization here is I've been just as complicit as the people who trampled all over me or took advantage of me or didn't take my feelings into account when they were doing ABC, XYZ. So again, upon this like review, and again, you were doing this to keep the peace. You know, the Star card talks about peace. The Five of Swords in the After Tower deck, no one is fighting. So it's almost like I know the truth, but I can't say the truth. I have to suppress the truth. I have to suppress the truth for the peace. That's not what you're doing moving forward. Moving forward, you're showing up as King of Swords, meaning if you injure me or that backhanded compliment, or I think you're being sneaky, or whatever it is, you wounded me emotionally, I'm speaking up. I'm not going to allow you, Seven of Swords, to trespass over me again, and I'm not going to allow myself to allow you to do that. So this is quite powerful. The moon. Tell me how the moon plays a significant role in this. And again, this is like the people that you interact with, right? In that gathering around card. So people close in your energetic sphere, if you will. Lovers, partners, siblings, children, parents, co-workers, people you interact with, local neighbors that you have a good relationship with. Yeah, people in that tight circle. One more shuffle. Thank you. I don't think you're putting up with their shit anymore. The moon. We have the Hermit. So this begins that period of the Rees, right? Because again, this new moon in Cancer is occurring in Mercury retrograde. And I always say retrograde starts with a RE. That's the time when we start to review and reassess. So that Hermit energy, it's like you're reviewing and reassessing all of these different situations and environments and connections currently in your life and in the past, and the ones that took advantage of you, Seven of Swords, that you never fully spoke up about or aren't speaking about now. And it's almost like this realization that, look at the in the After Tower deck, the Queen of Pentacles is seeing their reflection in that pentacle. So it's almost like I was part of the problem too. Page of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. I was part of the problem. Sorry, Taurus. So as I was saying before the camera shut off, got a little Mercury retrograde, that while you're going within in that Hermit to the moon, you're discovering on how you also abandoned yourself by suppressing wants, needs, or desires, or not calling people out when they trampled on them. And I think that's what you're learning here is the Queen is looking at, you know, I say her, it's a woman on the card. You don't have to be a feminine. But as you're looking at your reflection, if you will, looking internally, you're discovering on how you played a significant role in this. Clarify the Queen of Pentacles. Clarify the Queen of Pentacles energy here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Further clarified by the Emperor, the Ten of Swords, and the Lover's card, bottom of the deck, Judgment. So as a result of you doing this internal work, there's at least one connection here in your life that you realize, and I'm going to see why this is occurring, because right now it's sort of hidden in the energy of the moon, so I don't think you see this coming. I feel like there's a conversation here between you and this individual. The feeling I get from this person, they could be a Gemini, an Aries, a Virgo, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Aries, Leo, Sag here on the table, a Cancerian, but regardless of their sign, the feeling that I get here is that during this conversation, when you're expressing your wants, needs, and desires, this person is basically telling you that they weren't fulfilling them because you never expressed them, but now that you express them, they're telling you they can't fulfill them. So I think what you're realizing here is that you stayed in connection with someone, hoping that they would eventually realize what it is that you need and that they would give it to you. And now you're realizing they're not giving it to you. So I need to address it. I need to finally have the conversation here with this person, this boss, this friend, this family member, this lover. And it appears here that the result of this conversation is, now that they are aware of your needs, and look, Taurus, I think they were aware of them before, but now that you have vocalized them, this person is basically telling you that they can't do that. It's like, I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. I'll do anything for an employee, but I won't do that. So I don't know exactly what it is here, because it'll be different for each of you, of what you're expressing, of what you need from this person, because you're looking for an emotional need of yours to be fulfilled. And there's something here in response that this person is saying that they're unable to give you that. However, this is actually luck and right timing for you, Taurus, to have this conversation, because the next column we're going into is the Fortune's Wheel. So there's something beneficial from this, we'll call it a partnership, professional, platonic, or romantic, coming to an end. Once you make that judgment call, there's something beneficial. Nines are very singular. So it's like the Hermit's card, number 9, you go within, you have this realization, you decide to have the conversation. The person tells you, thank you for expressing that, in short, right? But I'm not going to be able to do that or fulfill that. And there's something here that transpires between you and them. I believe you become single, free, and independent of them. They fell face down, so I don't take face down cards unless they tell me to. So let's clarify the 9 of Pentacles here for Taurus. One more shuffle. Thank you. 9 of Pentacles is clarified by the Empress, the 3 of Cups, and the 7 of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Page of Pentacles. So it's like you're asking this person, right behind that we have the 8 of Cups. So it's like you're asking this person, I've been giving you this, blank, whatever this is, blank, and now I need this from you, right? I need this from you. And it's something in regards to emotional fulfillment. And I've been waiting a long time for you to deliver this. You haven't delivered this. I'm telling you now that moving forward, I need this. And this person's telling you, no, I can't do that. I think you end up becoming disconnected, okay, from this person. So this would be like, let's put this in context of work. You've had a job for a very long time, 7+ years, okay, it's just an example. And you have a great title and you make a great salary. But your boss is routinely putting you down in front of clients or customers, or giving you backhanded compliments in front of the staff. And for years, you just suppressed it because you like your job, you like the job title, you like the money that you make, and you figure that's just their personality trait. And now you decide, through all of this introspection, I need to have a conversation with this person. I never really expressed to them that when they do that in front of customers or clients or whatever, employees, other coworkers, that it actually hurts my feelings. I know I sit there chuckling or rolling my eyes and going along with it, but I don't want to do that moving forward. And you tell this boss, again, it's just an example, and you're saying, hey, moving forward, in the past you did blah, 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 or when you said this, I never said anything. Actually, I have been thinking about it, and it has been bothering me, and I do enjoy working here. Okay, I've been here for 7+ years, 7 Pentacles. But if you're going to continue doing that moving forward, I might have to find another job, because it's hurting my feelings, and I can't ignore my feelings anymore. And it appears that the boss is like, well, that's how I am. Like, take it or leave it. And it looks like you're leaving it. It looks like you end up finding another job. And this job was stagnant for you to begin because there was no emotional growth there. And same thing if this is a romantic partner. This is you sitting down with that partner and saying, hey, you know, for years, I never said that it bothers me that you don't, I don't know, bring me flowers on my birthday or celebrate our anniversary, or we're not as physically intimate, you know, as we have been, or maybe it's completely dried up in the past 7 years. You know, moving forward, I'm going to need those things from you. And this person turns around and says, well, I never did them before. No, I know, but I wanted them. I waited a long time for you to show up that way, and you never did. So I'm just telling you that moving forward, that's what I'm going to need from you. This person here appears to say, well, I can't give that to you. I've never given that to you. I don't know how to give that to you. I don't want to know how to give that to you. For whatever their reasons are. And it looks like then you're severing the connection. But something wonderful comes from you severing the connection with whomever or whatever this is. Clarify the moon. Clarify the moon here. One more shuffle. Thank you. The moon is clarified by the King of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and the Three of Cups. Bottom of the deck, the Hermit. So there's something here about when you move on from that person, you actually find people who emotionally invest in you. So you connect with another lover or another friend or a friend group, or you find another job, Taurus, where your boss is not giving you those backhanded compliments, or, you know what I mean, throwing little, you know, shivs in the lunch line at you. So it's almost like you're taking all the strength, courage, and perseverance that you used in the past to suppress your voice, and you're now going to use the strength of the Ace of Swords to use your voice, to in an effort or in a way to express your emotions. Clarify the Ace of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. Ace of Swords is clarified by the High Priestess, no longer staying silent. Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. Four of Cups. I'm no longer going to stay silent, right? High Priestess is quiet energy. Just to get along with everyone. Three of Pentacles to, you know, be a cog in the machine that keeps the machine going. And meanwhile, everything that they do or say, I'm trapped in my mind about it, and I feel emotionally depleted or emotionally unloved or emotionally rejected. Like in the past, Five of Wands, Three of Swords, look, I suppressed all of this to keep this person in my life or to keep this job. And now it's like, I can't do that anymore. Now when they do this, they inflict this pain on me, or they're not emotionally, you know, nurturing towards me. I'm going to speak up. You're so in your power here. Empress is your major arcana card. King of Pentacles is top tier for your suit. So this is a beautiful combination here. I almost want to say your masculine and feminine energies now are aligned or will become aligned, and now using the same strength and courage that you used to suppress your needs, now using them to express your needs, and also using it to cut out people who don't honor those needs. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Strength card is clarified by the Sun, the Ace of Pentacles. Two cards came out. Five of Wands and the Seven of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles in the After Tarot deck is very unique. Typically, I say the Four of Pentacles is my miser card. The individual is seen holding on to coins. In some cards, it's depicted like there's a coin under each foot, a coin on their head, a coin in their arms. So it's a miser card, right? We're holding on. But in the After Tarot deck, it's met with the Death card, the scorpionic energy there of the Grim Reaper. So it's almost like I'm not afraid to let go, or the same courage or strength it took me to suppress all those emotions and put up with that. Following this conversation here that you're having with this person or these people, it looks like there's no argument within you. In the After Tarot deck, we're leaving the Six Cups behind. So those situations, environments, connections have been in our life for a while, because again, they're unable to now fulfill you emotionally. It looks like there's no argument or reservation within you. It's like, I need to move forward and find the new job, or a new romantic partner, or a new social group. So moving out of stagnation, because this was keeping you emotionally stagnant. Now you're transitioning to a place where you will be emotionally fulfilled. Ten of Cups. Clarify that Ten of Cups. One more shuffle. Thank you. Ten of Cups is clarified by the Six of Swords, moving on, moving forward, Star card, and that Three of Wands, again, bottom of the deck, Tower. So this is going to come as a shock when you give your resignation at work, or you tell the friend or the friend group, or maybe the ex you're still in touch with, or your romantic partner, or maybe even a spouse here for some of you with that Hierophant card here on the table. When you express this need and they make fun of it, or they tell you they can't fulfill it, or they tell you they will, but soon after you realize they're really not going to, there's some anger here that stirs up from this person or these people when you decide to move forward, because you would have never done that in the past. You would have just suppressed your emotional needs for the sake of keeping this person or people in your life. So it looks like you decide to move forward towards healthier connections, more emotionally reciprocal connections. Ace of Cups, Chariot to the Justice card, Chariot, Justice card, and the Knight of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Judgment. Some of you will be finding another job. You're giving your notice at work because you found another Ace of Pentacles. Others of you will be filing for a divorce. There could be separation here between you and anyone in your life, professional, platonic, or romantic, where they have been emotionally inconsistent with you. You're making a judgment call, Tower, to move on from this person or these people. And Five of Swords, they're not liking it. They're not liking that suddenly you're putting your emotional well-being or emotional health at the forefront of the connection. It's like, but you never did that before. You never wanted it before. No, I did. I just never said anything. I waited for you to do the right thing. You didn't do the right thing. So now I have to do the right thing by me. Five of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. Five of Swords is clarified by the Hangman, the Eight of Cups, and the Strength card. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Wands. So there's communication, argumentative communication, okay? Eight of Wands, the Four of Cups, the Five of Wands, the Five of Swords here. As you move on, or you give notice, or again, you file for a divorce or something, there's a fight here that occurs. Like there's a verbal argument here. So there's some cutting words that this person has for you. It's almost like they think you're ridiculous. You've been here for 7+ years. You're leaving the job now because I hurt your feelings. Yeah, because I told you a month ago to not do that anymore. And you said you wouldn't, and then you did. So I'm out. I found another job, Ace of Pentacles, I'm out. Or again, could be a romantic partner. I told you what my emotional needs were. I explained how you weren't fulfilling them. I acknowledged how I played a role in that because I didn't really verbally express that to you. Now I told you what I need. You said you're going to do it, and you didn't. Or you told me flat out that you're not doing it. So yeah, I'm moving on from you. So there's a breakup here, a divorce, some kind of separation. And this person is almost angry with you because it's like they think you're ridiculous, Taurus. Like now suddenly your emotions mattered. Three of Wands. So you're moving on from this person or these people, pulling yourself out of stagnation. One more shuffle. Thank you. Three of Wands, clarified by the Empress, very much in your power. Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Six of Cups, Three of Swords, Ace of Wands. Yeah, you're going to move on from these situations, environments, or connections. You have or will be mastering over the course of the next 5 to 6 months the ability to speak about your emotions, to defend your emotions, and to walk away from people who do not honor your emotions. We have ego, that vanishing mirror card. I really took that as like someone's ego here being shattered. I want to know more about this person. Tell me more about this person. Tell me more about this person or these people. One more shuffle. Thank you. Five of Wands. There's that conflict, the drama, the Four of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. Bottom of the deck, the Tower. I would expect some type of explosive reaction from this person, like you're being ridiculous. No, you're not being ridiculous. You're honoring your emotions. They're just not used to you doing that. Clarify this further here, please, for Taurus. And then we'll close out with a moon card and some oracle cards. I'm really proud of you, Taurus. You wrapping up this cycle with this person. Well, first, I'm really proud of you because you are going to, moving forward, your emotional security is going to be just as valuable and important to you as financial security has always been. And so I love that balance for you, right? Masculine energy, we think about like making the money, and then we think of feminine energy as I need to love what I do for a living, right? I can't just work at a place because it makes great money, but I don't love it, or my emotions are harmed there. So it's a very nice balance here that you're finding. So one, I love that to you. Two, I love that moving forward, you're going to be using your voice to say, hey, when you did this, this is how it made me feel. Please don't do that again. Oh, you're going to keep doing it? Okay, I'm out. So you're not suppressing things anymore just to keep people in your life. Further clarified by the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Three of Swords. Healing this communicative wound and feeling very empowered by doing it. All because a little introspection begins with you planting that new seed in communication for you. And Death card, this will radically transform you. I love the Death card in tarot. It is my favorite card out of the 78 card deck because it talks about an ending for a new beginning. So the ability to speak your truth and transform a situation, and if it can't be transformed, closing it out and starting something else elsewhere. And so I love this for you. I'm feeling very much empowered as you do this. Let's get you a Moonology card here. So yeah, some egos will be affected. Some people will say that you're ridiculous or your feelings never mattered before. And what they're not realizing is your needs always mattered. You just never spoke up about them. What I like also is that moving forward, you are going to find the Ten of Cups, the situations, environments, connections that are emotionally pleasing to you, that nurture you, and that will respond to you on an emotional level without you even having to say anything. I feel like whoever this person or these people were, they're like emotionally stunted. And I think that's part of the issue also, but I think you also put up with it. So let's get you a Moonology card here. Not no mo though. One more shuffle. Thank you. Don't let your past hold you back. South Node. Well, for some of you, this could have been a very big wound here that you're now healing. Hold your vision. Fixed moon. So, yep, I think once you find your voice, you're going to hold on to it. You are a fixed earth sign. I think you're going to feel very empowered by the ability to use your voice. Very empowered by the ability to cut people out of your life that do not respect your voice. And I don't think you're going to allow your past to hold you back. There's the days of Taurus staying small to keep people in their life are really coming to an end. So congratulations to you, Taurus, ahead of time. I really look forward to doing your readings next year. I just think we're going to have a very vocally empowered Taurus collective moving forward. Let's get 3 oracle cards here, please, for Taurus. One more shuffle. Thank you. Rebirth. I told you, Phoenix rising from the ashes. Rise anew, embrace new beginnings and new opportunities. It's a whole new you. It's an emboldened you moving forward. Adventure. Fool card energy, taking the leap of faith. Embrace adventure and accept the uncertainties in life. That's exactly what you're doing. And then we have guidance. Seek wisdom from within. That's what you're doing. We have the Hermit card here twice. To illuminate your path and guide your decisions forward. Taurus, this is an absolutely radiant reading for you, rooted in courage. Yep. The Taurus who kept their mouth shut to keep everything together is going to be very strong and courageous when it comes to using their mouth. And if things fall apart, things fall apart. I suspect your round table, if you will, moving forward, will have different people sitting around that table, all because you found your voice. And it all begins with this new moon in Cancer in July. That is what I have for you, Taurus. That is your 6-month reading. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And don't forget to check out your other placements. Until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.